Okay, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin sa experimental psychology. Shout out para sa mga experimental psych students ko dyan. I'm going to talk about Introduction to Experimental Psychology. This is one of the first lectures na dinideliver ko whenever I talk about or teach this subject. Actually, meron na akong lecture nito way before. Ginawan ko lang ng 2024 version. Alam niyo naman, no, nag-i-improve tayo. Gusto natin i-update yung mga lectures natin. So, I did this 2024 version. For those of you who are asking, ano ang textbook sa experimental psychology that I use this one by Myers and Hansen, 2012. Very easy to understand. Very good examples. Talagang effective na libro to para mas maintindihan nyo paano ba mag-experimental psychology. For this lecture, the following are my points for today. Number 1, pag-uusapan natin anong ibig sabihin ng experimental psychology. Number 2, ano ba yung mga skills na natututunan kapag ang isang student mag-aaral ng experimental psychology. So at the end of the term or at the end of the semester, depende kung trisem or semestral, ano yung mga skills na dapat magaling na, master na ng isang estudyante. That's very important to establish in this subject. And number 3, ano ba yung kahalagahan ng experimental psychology sa buhay? In this lecture, I'm going to show you that experimental psychology is not only a subject, one of the subjects in a psychology program. Rather, ang subject na to, isa itong life skill. Meron tayong mga practical applications ng pag-eeksperimento na ikagaganda ng buhay natin. So mamaya ipapakita ko how number 3 happens in experimental psychology. Unahin natin yung number 1, diretsahan na. Ano ba yung experimental psychology? Kapag kumuha ka ng isang syllabus ng experimental psychology, more or less, different schools may differ. Ito yung laman ng isang course description ng experimental psychology. So, this course description, kinuha ko to from the syllabus that I am currently using. So, ang iba't ibang eskwelahan, pwedeng may iba't ibang laman kung ano ang course description nila ng experimental psychology. Okay? Now, from the syllabus, pwede mo ring i-check yung ibig sabihin ng experimental psych sa APA Online Dictionary. For the psych majors there, no, na nakikinig, isang technique that I teach if you want to know the official definition of a psychological concept, because as you know, in our field, marami mga definitions ng iba't ibang mga authors. So, kung gusto mong malaman yung official definition, punta ka sa APA Online Dictionary. And according to the dictionary, ito raw ang ibig sabihin ng experimental psychology. You can read this on your own. I-pause nyo yung video if you need to. But if I am going to summarize, kung ipaparaphrase ko itong definition ng APA on experimental psychology, I would say this is a field that studies how the experimental procedure is used to answer psychological questions. Sa simpleng Tagalog, sa subject na experimental psychology, nag-aaral tayo kung paano mag-eksperimento para sumagot ng mga tanong sa psychology. So the first thing I want to establish here in connection to what is experimental psychology, tandaan nyo that experimenting is a method that can answer a question. Yan ang dapat unang alam ninyo. Bakit ba ang tao nag-experiment? Kahit hindi sa experimental psychology. The essence of doing experiments is that we want to answer a question. So kung may mga tanong ka sa buhay, from trivial to something psychological, isang option para masagot mo yung questions na yon is to do experiments. Questions like, anong okay na sabong panglaba? Diba, seemingly trivial, pero pwede mong sagutin yan using experiments. Saan ako dapat dumaan para hindi ako malate? Pwede mong sagutin yan using experiment. Diba? Or number 3, a very psychological question, bakit down ang relationship ko kay Lord? Very spiritual, very psychological, yet this can be answered by doing experiments. Kaya dito pa lang sana makita nyo yung value ng paggawa ng experiment. It gives you answers to the most important questions in life. So mamaya, mas i-elaborate ko pa how experiments can increase the quality of life of a person. Okay? So, going back to the definition by the APA, in experimental psychology, anong klaseng tanong yung mga sinasagot natin? Siyempre, in experimental psychology, hindi na natin tatanong yung numbers 1 and 2. Wala tayong pakialam kung anong sabon yung gagamitin mo para bumango yung nilalaban mo, or wala tayong pakialam kung saan ka dapat dumaan para hindi ka malate sa klase mo. Okay? Although numbers 1 and 2 can be answered by experiments, but in experimental psychology, sumasagot tayo ng mga psychological questions. As you can see here in the definition, we answer questions na may kinalaman sa, everybody read, psychological phenomena. For the psych majors there, how do you know if your question is psychological? Paano mo malalaman na hindi siya sociology, hindi siya history, hindi siya philosophical? Psychological questions involves questions about what? Ano yung 3 pillars of the psyche? Thinking, emotions, and behaviors. So kapag ang tanong mo may kinalaman sa thinking patterns, emotional patterns, or behavioral patterns, most likely, babagsak yan sa psychological questions, such as the following. So, zoom in natin, psychological questions. Wait lang ha, zoom in natin. Yan. Does reading journal articles improve memory? Psychological question yan. Pwede mong sagutin using experiment. Is being single happier than being in a relationship? Taas nga kamay kung sino yung mga happy dyan na single. Di ba? Mas masaya ba ang buhay kapag single ka kaysa may jowa ka? That can be answered by experiments. Or questions like, does listening to upbeat music make one exercise more? That's also a psychological question. So whenever you are faced with these questions, again, ang point ko is, pwede mong masagot yan using psychological experiments. Experiment is the key for you to answer these psychological questions. And one more thing, in connection to experimental psychology, when you see someone experimenting in the field of psychology, kahit anong experiment pa yan, now you know that that person doing the experiment, meron siyang question na gusto niyang masagot. Yan kaagad yung implication na pwede mong alam about a person who is experimenting, meron siyang tanong na sinasagot. So every time that you encounter an ongoing experiment or a published experimental study such as what you see in the following journals, alam mo na bawat isang study dyan, merong questions na sinasagot. Yan. By the way, this is legit ha. Meron talaga tayong Journal of Experimental Psychology. So if you want to expose yourself to different studies na gumamit ng experiment, basa kayo ng mga ganyang articles. And for every experiment that you encounter, again, anong sinasabi ko? These are attempts to answer certain psychological questions. Maliwanag? So that's all about number 1. Kung may mga tanong kayo, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Now, let's move on to number 2. What are the skills na dapat matutunan ng isang estudyante who will be taking this subject? There are 3 skills to learn. 3 skills na dapat matutunan ng isang estudyante na kukuha ng experimental psychology. Letter A, if you take experimental psychology, you're gonna learn how to find psychological truths. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I want you to say the word truth. That's a very important word, not only in the Bible, but also in science, even in psychological experiments. Tandaan nyo, experimental psychology assumes that there are truths to be discovered about the psyche. Kaya ka nga nag-experiment. Naniniwala ka na merong katotohanan about the psyche, about the spirit na gusto mong malaman. At para malaman mo yon, kinakailangan mag-undergo ka ng process of experimentation. To put that in a diagram, ganito ang itsura niyan. Ito yung psyche, ito yung kaluluwa, ito yung espiritu. Merong mga bagay na totoo about the spirit. Gusto nating malaman yung mga truths na yan kasi hindi pa natin alam. So what do? Gagawa tayo ng experiment, a-apply natin yung mga principles, yung mga procedures, hanggang sa malaman natin yung mga truths na yon. Experimentation is the way to know those psychological truths about the psyche. Kaya from here, medyo mag-sidestep lang ako ng konti, I want you to learn this insight. Truth is independent of your agreement or feelings. Ang truth outside us, Hindi tayo ang gumagawa ng truth. Hindi nakadepende sa atin kung ano ang magiging totoo or hindi. Such as in this slide. 'Di ba? Yung truth, bago mo pa gawin yung experimental psychology, bago ka pa mag-experiment, nandyan na yan. Totoo na yan. Hindi ikaw yung gumawa ng truth. Why am I emphasizing this? Because in our society today, usong-uso yung tinatawag nating relativism. A philosophical idea that claims na ang truth, tayo daw ang magdedetermine. Something is true if we agree that it is true, or something is true if it feels good that it's true. So kapag may tao kang kakilala na ganyan yung treatment niya sa truth, para sa kanya ang truth, lahat ng bagay na agree siya, lahat ng bagay na nafe-feel niya, doon nakasalalay yung truthfulness ng isang bagay, relativist yan. And as you can see on the slide, this is not a good philosophical assumption to take. Sabi ko nga dito, poison to, nakakalason to. Kapag yung katotohanan, binabase mo sa kung anong nararamdaman mo. No? And in our society today, ang packaging dyan is very positive. Sasabihin nila, you just follow your heart. O, sino dito agree dyan? You just follow your heart. Listen to the voice within. If you are one of those people who agree na walang masama sa following your heart, isa ka sa mga na-brainwash ng society that truth depends on you. Yung magiging sense of morality mo ganito, it can't be wrong when it feels so right. Simply because something feels right doesn't mean it's right. Pero ang relativism, ganyan ang ituturo. Kung feeling mo, tama yan. Kung feeling mo, okay yan. Masarap gawin, masarap paniwalaan, then that's the truth. Mali yan. Because whether or not you agree with something, whether or not it feels good or it feels bad, ang truth, truth. Ang false, false. Wala yan sa kapangyarihan mo. Hindi ikaw ang nagde-determine. Hindi ikaw ang nagdidikta kung ano ang true, kung ano ang false. You will discover. You are going to discover what is true or what is false. Truth is outside yourself. You don't create the truth. Nagigets nyo? Yun yung application na gusto kong i-emphasize dito. You should externalize the truth. It does not depend on you. Ikaw ang magdi-discover ng pre-existing truth. Okay? Now, the thing is, kapag tinanggap mo kasing totoo yung relativism, merong negative effect din yan sa experimental psychology. So, hindi lang masama ito sa, hindi lang moral implications yung pangit na epekto ng relativism, may epekto din yan in doing science, lalo na experimental psychology. If you accept relativism to be true, anong ibig sabihin yan? Wala nang point kung bakit ka pa mag-experimental psychology. Do you agree? If you can follow my line of thinking, look at this slide. 'Di ba? Kung maniniwala ka na ikaw ang nagdidikta kung ano ang totoo based on your feelings, huwag ka na mag-experimentation dito. Kasi kung ikaw lang naman pala magsasabi kung ano ang truth, kung ano ang false, edi wag mo nang hanapin dyan. Yung truth wala dyan. Yung truth nandito pa lang meron na. But in experimental psychology or science in general, it's not like that. We assume na merong truth dito. Merong truth sa psyche. Regardless whether we believe that or not. So what do? To arrive at those truths, we apply experimentation. Unti-unti, ina-apply mo experimentation dito hanggang sa makita mo yung truth about the psyche. Kaya again, ulitin ko, kung tatanggapin mong totoo ang relativism, huwag ka na mag-science. Hindi ka dapat psych major. Am I getting my point? Doing experiments affirm that truth is not according to us. I hope you get my point. So, hindi nyo dapat ini-internalize, hindi nyo dapat pinaniniwalaan yung relativism, especially kung nag-aaral kayo ng experimental psychology. Doing experiments affirm that truth is not according to us, it's already pre-existing. At yan ang ituturo sa inyo ng experimental psych. How do you arrive at those psychological truths? Letter B, in this subject, ang isang estudyante tuturuan kung paano magtanong ng mga experimental questions. Kasi hindi naman lahat ng questions about the psyche kayang masagot ng experiment. Merong mga specific type of questions na yung questions na yun lang dapat yung itatanong mo if you're going to do experiments. Let me just go ahead of myself here. Ang tawag sa mga questions na yon, my students know this, questions of causality. Everybody say that with me, questions of causality. Dapat ang isang estudyante maturuan ng experimental psychology kung paano magtanong ng question of causality. Take for example these two questions. Alin dyan ang question of causality? You can pause the video if you need to. Ito ba question of causality? Ito ba question of causality? Oh, as I go along this series, kayo na lang bahala mag-decide kung alin dyan ang question of causality, alin ang hindi. Last one, letter C, ang isang estudyante na mag-aaral ng experimental psychology will be taught how to design good experiments. Lahat naman ng tao may kakayanan na mag-design ng experiment, but not everyone knows how to design good experiments. May mga experiments na pangit, may mga experiments na basura. Sorry about my term, pero totoo naman. Okay? Now, in experimental psychology, tuturuan ka paano mag-design ng magandang experiment. Isang experiment that will guarantee, will expose psychological truths. At para mangyari yan, ang isang estudyante dapat meron siyang mastery of the following concepts. Kaya isa ito sa mga tinuturo kapag mag-experimental psychology. Dapat ang isang estudyante memorize lahat ng terms na yan. Dapat bawat isa dyan, alam niya kung paano i-define, alam niya kung paano i-apply in designing psychological experiments. Kaya one implication here, for those of you taking experimental psychology, maraming memorization sa experimental psychology. So kung ikaw ay isang estudyante na ayaw mong nagme-memorize, ayaw mo ng maraming inaaral, guess what? You are in the wrong subject. Because this subject is very technical, it requires a lot of memorization of key concepts. Para magagamit mo lahat yan sa pagdidisenyo ng magandang psychological experiment. Alright? Now, let's move on to number 3. Pag-usapan natin, ano yung importance or kahalagahan ng pag-aaral ng experimental psychology. So, diretsahang tanong na, kapag pinag-aralan mo yung experimental psychology at inaral mo ng mabuti, na master mo yung experimentation, this can help you have success. Magkakaroon ka ng magandang buhay. Now, again, bago kayo maglipat dito, anong ibig sabihin nun? Nagiging popular psychology ba tayo dito? Hindi. Let me explain how experimentation can lead to a successful life. Going back to this slide. Anong sabi ko? We start here. Aral ka ng mga experimental psych concepts. Punuin mo yung notebook mo ng mga concepts. Aralin mo, i-memorize mo, paano i-apply. And then, i-apply mo yun sa laboratory. Makaka-discover ka ng mga psychological truths. Alright? Hindi pa tapos yung storya dyan. So, in-apply mo yung experimentation, may mga nalalaman ka mga psychological truths. Kapag nalaman mo na yung mga psychological truths na yan, whatever that is, truth number 1, 2, and 3, anong gagawin mo sa mga truths na yon? I-apply mo in your life. Yan ang ginagawa sa truth. Whenever you discover a truth, you apply it in your everyday life. At kapag in-apply mo na yan sa pang-araw-araw mong buhay or kung mabait ka, ituturo mo yan sa ibang tao, ito yung mga katotohanan about our psychological life that leads to a successful life. Kaya gumaganda yung health mo. Kaya nagiging okay yung mga relationships mo sa parents mo, sa jowa mo, sa mga kapitbahay mo. Kaya laging matataas ang grades mo. Kaya ka cum laude, kaya ka summa cum laude. Kaya sa opisina, ikaw yung pinaka-productive. Ikaw lagi may award every month. Ikaw lagi yung employee of the year. Kaya mababa yung stress mo. Kahit marami kang responsibilidad, happy ka pa rin, hindi nangungulubot yung balat mo, bakit mababa yung stress mo? Paano mo nalalaman? Bakit ka nagiging ganyan? Paano mo nasusustain yung buhay mo na ganyan? Anong sagot? Kasi may mga alam kang psychological truths na ina-apply mo in your everyday life. Ang tanong, paano mo nalaman yung mga psychological truths na yan? You go back to experimentation. Diba? Kaya mo nalaman yung mga psychological truths na yan kasi nag-experiment ka. Nung nalaman mo yan, in-apply mo, gumanda yung buhay mo. Does that make sense? Now, in connection to this, yan ang isa sa mga problema natin in our society today. Marami mga tao bagsak ang mental health. Hindi magaganda ang outcome ng mga buhay. And this is supported by increasing numbers of people who are suffering from many mental health issues. Pataas ang pataas. And if you're gonna ask me, kung tatanungin nyo ako as a psychology professional, ano ang cause niyan? Bakit dumadami ang mental health concerns sa mga tao? Kasi maraming mga tao ngayon, maraming na-internalize na mga quote-unquote psychological principles na mali. They were exposed to a lot of psychological lies. In-internalize nila yung mga kasinungalingan na yan, yun yung ina-apply nila in their everyday life. Ano nangyayari? Bumabagsak yung quality of life. Yung akala nilang mga principles na tama, mali pala. Because popular psychology has fooled them to believe na tama yung mga pinaniniwalaan nila. Kaya dyan ngayon papasok ang gamit ng experimental psychology. Ang experimental psychology, if you use it the right way, anong kayang gawin yan? I-expose ng experimental psych yung mga lies na yan. At the same time, after ma-expose yung mga lies na yan, matutulungan tayo ng experimental psych to install or to instill yung totoong mga psychological principles. So, i-delete natin yung mga kasinungalingan na na-internalize ng mga tao, papalitan natin ng mga psychological truths na nalaman natin sa pamamagitan ng experimentation. Let me give you some examples of truths and lies na kung saan experiments can help in exposing the truths and deleting the certain lies. Okay, halimbawa, did you know that it is already experimentally proven na maganda ang prayer for mental health? If you want, you can just read this article, download nyo, read it on your own. Maganda sa mental health ang tao nagpe-pray. Okay? Now, the thing is, in our culture today, we are made to believe that praying does not make sense. Maraming mga kabataan ngayon ang paniniwala, I am too rational to pray. Hindi na uso mag-pray. Pag nagpe-pray ka, para ka lang humihingi ng gift mo kay Santa Claus at alam naman natin na si Santa Claus hindi totoo. Everything is scientific today. Dapat naniniwala ka lang sa mga scientific things. God does not fit science, therefore why should we pray? We should just trust the science. Yan. Many people, especially young people, are brainwashed by that kind of thinking. So mapapaniwala sila that I am too rational to pray. So anong ending? Hindi sila nagpe-pray. Yan ngayon yung kasinungalingan na na-absorb nila. So they don't pray. Ang hindi nila alam, they are missing a lot. Because prayer in general is good for mental health. Another truth, alam nyo ba ang meditation or ang mindfulness, your ability to focus on the present, one thing at a time, enjoying the moment is good for mental health. This is one study to support that claim. At marami pa, hindi ko na lang nalagay lahat dyan. You can just search that on your own. Experiments confirm na okay talaga ang meditation and mindfulness. Totoo yung sinasabi ni Kristo doon sa Matthew, nung sinabi niya, therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow. He was teaching about mindfulness. For tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Focus ka lang kung ano nandyan ngayon. Huwag mo muna isipin yung bukas, wala pa tayo doon. Huwag mo lang isipin yung nakaraan, tapos na yon. Focus ka lang ngayon. Focus ka lang dito sa experimental psych. Focus ka lang dito sa laro na to. Huwag mo muna isipin sino makakalaban mo after this game. Huwag mo nang isipin na tinambakan kayo nung black team the other game. Ngayon ka lang mag-focus. Yan yung turo ni Kristo sa Matthew 6. He was teaching mindfulness. Kaya minsan iniisip ko kung si Jesus ba psych major eh. Kasi alam niya yung benefit ng mindfulness. Na focus ka lang dapat dito sa ngayon. Isa-isa lang yung iisipin mo. Even before this journal article, alam na ng Biblia yan. Oh, now, that's the truth. But many people don't apply this. Why? Because in our society, we are brainwashed to believe that we should be doing everything all at the same time. Ang tawag dyan, multitasking. The cult of multitasking. The deception of multitasking. Sino dito mahilig mag-multitask? Taas ang kamay. For those of you na nagtaas ng kamay, you are one of the people in our society who were brainwashed, who were deceived to believe that it is possible to do more than one thing at the same time. And we have a lot of support, a lot of research to prove that. Hindi maganda sa brain, hindi maganda sa mental health natin, that we are doing many things all at the same time. Because our mind, our psychological process is designed, or the best function of our psychological process is when isa-isa lang yung pagpoproseso natin. Hugas ka muna ng pinggan bago ka mag-aral. Mag-aral ka muna bago ka makinig sa music. Hindi yung habang nag-aaral ka, naghuhugas ka ng pinggan at nakikinig ka sa music. Tapos magtataka ka kung bakit ang bababa ng mga grades mo sa exams. Because multitasking impairs many psychological processes. Yan yung totoo. Na hindi maganda ang multitasking. Pero ito yung pinaniniwalaan ng maraming tao, ito naman yung pinaniniwalaan ng konting tao. You got that? Last example, no? Now, did you know that it is true that the mind is so powerful in shaping our reality? Totoo pala yan, no? Na sobrang powerful ng mind natin. Because we are spirit in nature, our spirit has transcendence. Meron siyang authority over our body. One example of series of studies that support that claim, yung series of studies known as placebo effect. I-research na lang kung ano yung placebo effect, no? But in this study, nagkaroon ng isang experiment. Kwento ko lang ng mabilis. Merong isang grupo dito, they were divided into two groups. The first group of people were made to believe na yung exercise program that they will undergo is a special exercise program. Sinabihan sila, they were made to believe. Yan kasi yung placebo effect eh. You lead a person to believe at something, right? So in this group, they were made to believe that the program they're going to undergo is a specialized program that improves cardiovascular health at the same time self-esteem. Talagang 100% very effective tong program na to. All over the world, it was proven that this program works. Yun yung group 1. Yung group 2 naman, they were simply asked to undergo the program without being led to believe that. Walang sinabi sa kanila. Undergo lang kayo ng program na to, and then at the end of the program, let's see what happens. So after 10 weeks, after 10 to 14 weeks, basahin nyo lang itong article na to if you want to know the specifics, mineasure ngayon yung self-esteem at yung cardiovascular health ng dalawang grupo. And what did they find out? They found out that the cardiovascular health and the self-esteem of the first group were way better compared to the self-esteem and the cardiovascular health of the second group. Now, if you know experiments, dyan pa lang, masisense mo na may weird doon. Anong weirdo doon? Ano lang ang pinagkaiba ng dalawang grupo? Actually, wala naman silang pinagkaiba eh. They underwent the same exercise program. Exactly the same. Ang pinagkaiba lang nila is, the first group were made to believe, the other group did not made to believe. That's the power of belief. Kaya mas maganda ang cardiovascular health at ang self-esteem ng first group because while doing the program, they were expecting that these programs will definitely improve their cardiovascular health, pati na yung self-esteem nila. That's the power of the mind, the power of our expectations. O, di ba? Kaya, kapag narinig yan ng popular media, nabasa nila yung mga ganyang study, i-repackage nila yan para maging popular psychology. So, makakakinig ka ng mga ganyang quotes. The body achieves what the mind believes. Gagawin ng libro yan. The power of the subconscious mind. Pero sa totoo lang, yung subconscious mind natin, how powerful it is, even before this hardcore experiment, alam na ng Bible yan eh. Alam na ng Bible yan. Tinuro na naman ni Jesus yan. That our mind is so powerful. Remember what He said in Matthew. Isa to sa mga favorite verses ko. He said to them, because of your little faith. Ang konteksto nito, yung mga disciples, hindi nila mapalayas yung demonyo. So, nung napalayas ni Kristo yung demonyo, tinanong ng mga disciples kay Kristo, bakit hindi nila mapalayas yung demonyo? Ito yung sagot ni Kristo. Kasi raw, mababa ang faith nila because you have little faith. You are not expecting to succeed. You are expecting to fail. Tinuloy niya, for truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of a mustard seed, kung talagang may konting faith ka, pero yung konting faith na yon sobra-sobra kang naniniwala that something will come true, that something will happen, what did He say? You will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Now, many Bible scholars say na itong mga yellow words dito is a figure of speech. Metaphor lang daw yan. Ako sa tingin ko, this is meant to be literal. Jesus really, what Jesus is saying here is, kapag yung faith mo talagang sincere, talagang no doubt ka, no doubt, you have faith that God is going to help you, that God gives you power to do certain things, you can transcend physical laws. drive out demons, walk on the water. 'Di ba, remember yung isa pang episode nito, si Peter, nung naglakad siya sa tubig kasi tinawag siya ni Kristo, lumubog din si Peter nun eh. Nung una, nakapaglakad siya sa water, bakit? May faith siya. Bakit siya lumubog? Nakita niya yung mga big waves, narinig niya yung strong winds. And he began to doubt. Kaya nung pinul siya ni Jesus, nung hinila siya, pinagalitan siya, anong sinabi? You of little faith, why did you doubt? Diba? Yung nagpalubog sa kanya, yung nagpahinto kay Peter to transcend physical laws is little faith. So ako, sa tingin ko, ito, literal to eh. That when you have faith, talagang 100% of your soul, of your psyche believes that God will provide, that God will deliver you, you access or you will activate certain capabilities na kaya mong i-transcend certain physical limitations. Yan yung OG, Matthew 17:20. Yan yung OG ng mga ganyang mga teachings. It all started in the Bible. And to further support what I'm saying here, no, na ang mind natin, it's so powerful, it can transcend physical laws. If you study the psychology of religion, merong mga religious rituals na talagang mukhang nagagawa yan eh. As you can see here, nagagawa yan. Yung natatranscend nila yung mga physical limitations. Naglalakad sa bubog na nagbabaga, umaapoy nang hindi sila nasusugatan or they don't experience pain. Bakit nakakaya ng katawan nila yan? Because again, for these people, meron silang ginagawang technique na talagang na-activate nila yung power of their mind over their body. Mind over matter. That's the truth. That our psyche is so powerful, that our psyche is more powerful over our body. Ngayon, karamihan ng mga tao, hindi yan alam. Hindi alam na ang mind natin is more powerful than our body kasi ang uso ngayon sa kultura natin, naniniwala tayo that we are just a brain. That there's no such thing as the mind. Kaya para sa mga taong naniniwala sa evolution, naniniwala na ang psychological experiences natin, it's all about the brain, hirap na hirap silang intindihin yan. Wala sa kanilang mind over matter because everything is matter, everything is material. We are just a brain. See, kung naniniwala ka that we are just a brain, there's no such thing as the mind, edi hindi mo magagawa to, hindi mo ma-apply yan. Because for you to do this, for you to have faith, kinakailangan naniniwala ka sa spirit. Because faith comes from our spirit, not from our body. Wala, naniniwala ka sa atheism. Naniniwala ka that everything psychological can be explained by hormones and brain cells alone. Wala talaga. Can you imagine kung gaano kalaki yung nami-miss out mo in terms of your capability as a human being if you simply believe that you are just a brain? Unfortunately, ito yung pinaniniwalaan ng maraming tao ngayon. And they think they are smarter than people who believe there is a soul. Nagigets nyo? So in summary, given those examples, how can experimental psychology give you a successful life? Number 1, i-expose ng experimental psychology yung mga lies. Number 2, mapapalitan natin yung mga kasinungalingan na yan ng mga truths. Expose the lies, delete those lies, and then install the truth. So kapag nag-aaral ka na experimental psychology, ina-apply mo yan ng maayos, nakaka-discover ka ng mga psychological truths, ina-apply mo sa buhay mo yung psychological truths, tinuturo mo sa ibang tao yung psychological truths, gumaganda ang buhay mo, pati na rin ng ibang tao. Kaya nga dito ko nanggagaling when I said a while ago that experimental psychology is not just a subject that you need to pass. Sana ganun yung pananaw nyo sa experimental psychology. Hindi lang to subject na dapat ganito yung grade mo. Kukunin ko lang to kasi kung hindi ko to kinuha, hindi ako gagraduate. Consider this subject as a life skill. Kapag sineryoso mo to, in-apply mo ng maayos yung mga concepts, it can help you arrive at psychological truths. And those psychological truths will make your life better and better. Got that? So this subject is a life skill. It teaches you a very important life skill. So yan ang naging lecture natin on what is experimental psychology all about. I think naman, no, na-hit natin yung numbers 1, 2, and 3. Alright? So, yan lang, no? If you have any questions, kung meron kayong mga comments, suggestions sa mga topic, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Sana nakatulong tong maikli nating lecture. Sir Howard here. Until the next lecture. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.